My name is Manu. I studied at the University of Toronto before coming to Oxford. At Oxford, I primarily studied security issues. I looked at the way an insurgency mobilizes, does that affect the way it would demobilize? And I looked at conflicts from various parts of the world, from Algeria to Mozambique. Because the GGD program attracts people from different parts of the world, most of us were international students, with different experiences, different things studied, our class dynamic was fantastic and everyone presented their view with confidence and coherence. So the debates, when the professors would start them in class, we would learn a lot from each other. And some of them were surprising and pleasant one-liners to comic effect, and some of them were things that just stick with you. On the more specific side of things, I would say at the GGD program, one of the things that I found very pleasant was, for me, the way all the courses beautifully connected and created a meta-narrative of sorts. Coming in, I didn't know much about diplomacy, but studying diplomacy, I soon realized that diplomacy mattered a lot for what I studied in security issues. For example, studying track 1, track 2 diplomacy and mediation affected the way I thought about my dissertation when I thought about peace building. It is an intense program with exams, dissertations, and coursework. So on the one hand, there's a lot of stuff to be done, and there's a need to stay on top of this material one needs to finish. On the other hand, Oxford is a very social and a vibrant place, and there's a lot to do, from talks to formal dinners and many other things. So I suppose the most challenging thing at Oxford and the program in itself is balancing the two sides of the equation, the social with the academic. And that balance and finding that correct balance was the greatest challenge for me. I think the most pleasant experience, and I think an experience I'll definitely remember for a long time to come, is when the Michaelmas term ended and before all of us sort of left Oxford for the Christmas break, we as a program decided to go to London as an end of the term celebration. And on the bus ride over, we discussed from the latest Katy Perry video to the Paraguayan Constitution. After that, we ended up in London's Hyde Park for a winter festival. And surprisingly, later that night, we ended up at a Brazilian consulate officer's house party, where, of course, we put our diplomacy learnings in absolute practice. So that was a wonderful night to de-stress after the Michaelmas term, and just everybody relaxed, and I think I'll remember that night for a long time to come. The way I believe that the GGD program will assist my future career is twofold. First, I think the GGD program established a sense of critical attitude that, though was budding in my undergraduate career, but perhaps came to its most fruition here precisely because this is a program with 24 other students who are immersed in the same studies and in themselves are very intelligent students, and your constant challenge and debates with them. And that in itself hones a critical attitude that is also aided by the professors and the pedagogy adopted here. And I think that critical attitude will be indispensable irrespective of which career I choose. Moreover, I think if I choose to be an academic, I have a master's dissertation which I pursued. It could be potentially a foundation for my additional research. So I feel as though in this program I laid the groundwork for a budding research. Lastly, perhaps most importantly, I would say, the way I believe the GGD program will aid me is the friendship that was sowed here. Yes, there's a lot of networking opportunities at Oxford. There's a lot of talks. There's a lot of people you meet. But our program is, because it's such a tight-knit program of 23 people, it's surprising that within 9 months you sow some of the best friendships that one can potentially imagine. And I believe, given that how international we are and given how remarkably close we have become so far, I think that will have its great rewards both in professional and in non-professional settings. And I think that will be perhaps the greatest legacy of the GGD program for me.